So something quite strange happened yesterday. I started getting tweets, YouTube comments, and direct messages all telling me the same thing. The same kind of crazy news story that needed some definite investigative journalism, if that's very loosely what you want to call what I do here. And this news story was this: Surface Neo is not dead. Oh my God, Surface Neo has just appeared in a movie. If you're unfamiliar, if you don't know what on earth I'm talking about, Surface Neo is this unreleased device by Microsoft, which was meant to be the companion to Surface Duo 2, a device I talk about on this channel all the time. Basically, think Surface Duo, but big. And at the time, it was going to be running a Windows 10X build, customized for dual screen use. You can see all these beautiful images here of exactly what I'm talking about. This was a big Surface Duo running a full-fledged-ish Windows. But unfortunately, this device, while it was shown off and it was shown to the public, some people got hands-on with this thing, it was never released. Now, here we are almost at the end of 2021, and this thing was never released. Here's the weird thing, though. It popped up in a movie on Netflix called Red Notice. I have no idea what this movie is about. I had no idea that it existed before all of these things started happening. First off, credit to Oliver here for sending me a comment on YouTube first, but then also credit to this Twitter user for DMing it to me about 9 o'clock in the morning yesterday, and I did not see it until after I tweeted this out. So with that out of the way, here's what we got. Ryan Reynolds in this movie pulls out a Surface Neo, and he's doing some funny comedy bits with it. I don't really know the context because, again, I didn't watch the movie. I just went to this spot in the movie. If you want to see it in the movie, it sits right around the 49:57 mark. Right there, you can see the timestamp there. And he pulls it out and does a whole kinds of, he flips it around and is taking pictures of The Rock and so forth and so on. So everyone at this point, collectively, everybody loses their minds because this immediately is like, oh my God, it's actually still coming. Why else would Surface Neo be in a new movie if not to plug the device's eventual release? Well, unfortunately, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but that's not what this means at all. Because if we do that investigative journalism that I talked about, there's much more to the story than what meets the eye. The first thing we have to do is we got to get some idea about the timing of these things, right? So if we go to this Windows Central article, you'll get an idea here. Microsoft announced Surface Neo in October of 2019, which shipped with Windows 10X. Since then, Microsoft has canceled Windows 10X and postponed Neo indefinitely. It was originally supposed to ship in fall of 2020. That's very important, fall of 2020. Now let's go back to my Twitter thread here and let's look at the screenshot from Wikipedia that I posted about this movie, Red Notice. Principal photography began January 3rd, 2020. So January 3rd, 2020, the device Neo was supposed to ship that fall. That's the beginning of the year. That gave them like 8 months at that point, 9 months almost, in between principal photography and device shipping. Now, my understanding here is that principal photography is when the bulk of the filming is done. So between January 3rd and then March 14th, they were able to film, according to what this seems to be implying. January 3rd, they began filming. On March 14th, the production was halted due to the pandemic. But they gave them 3 months to do principal photography, right? And then filming resumed September the 14th. But it's entirely possible, nay, I would say probable, that scene in the plane with Surface Neo was filmed in that 3-month window at the beginning of 2020 while Surface Neo was still expected to launch later on that fall. So what I'm here to tell you, unfortunately, is that they filmed this when they thought they were still going to release Surface Neo, and things have dramatically changed since then. Windows 10X was not canceled at this point. The actual silicon it was going to run on that Intel was making, I don't believe was canceled at that point. I'd have to check the dates, but I'm almost positive that's the case. So Surface Neo was coming when they shot this. Surface Neo is now postponed indefinitely. It's important to remember when we see these product placements like that movies don't come out right after being filmed. And especially during the pandemic, a lot of movies were shot halfway or most of the way, shelved, finished up, and then released literally sometimes years after they were actually filmed. Dune is a great example. I think that movie's set for like a year in between being finished and being released. So Hate to be the bearer of bad news here, but no, this does not actually mean the Surface Neo is still coming anytime soon. My understanding is that Neo is not currently being worked on, that it is postponed indefinitely. They may revisit it in the years to come, but it's not going to be anytime soon. So again, thanks to everybody for sending this my way. I initially planned on holding this story until News Radar on Monday, but it was getting so much attention already and nobody was talking about this aspect. I felt like I needed to get out front and give this bit of information. So guys, stay tuned for more content just like this. And until next time, stay nerdy, my friends.